my friends. Today we are going to make oatmeal raisin cookies. So you will need butter. I'll put the recipe up. You will get to see the recipe. But you will need butter, flour, white sugar, brown sugar, baking powder, baking soda, vanilla and cinnamon, obviously oatmeal, and raisins. So the first thing I did with 3/4 of a cup of butter, which is 1½ sticks, is I brought it to room temperature. To that bowl, I am going to add half of the flour. So it's about 1¼ cups of flour. I am going to add 1/4. I need a knife. Excuse me. Knife. I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup. Oh, first though, I am going to blend the butter to get it all whipped together. Here we go. That is beautifully whipped together. Depending on how soft your butter is, it's going to take about 30 seconds of mixing. Okay, then to that, I'm going to add half of the flour. I'm actually going to add 3/4 of a cup, which is a little more than half. 2. Remember, when you're measuring your flour, you dig deep, you get too much in your measuring cup, and then you scrape across the flat edge of your knife so you have a nice even measure of 1/4 of a cup. Okay, then to that, I am adding the brown sugar. It's an entire cup of brown sugar. This is a ½ cup measure, so I will add 2 halves to equal 1 whole. With brown sugar, you pack it down. So you'll see as I'm spooning it into my ½ cup measure, I'm packing it down with the back of my spoon. Okay, there's 1/2 of a cup. And then I'll pack it down. Do you know that brown sugar is white sugar with molasses added to it? Fun fact. And there's my second ½ of a cup. So that's 1 whole cup. Then we're adding a ½ cup of white sugar. Nice level ½ cup. Our next oh, I forgot to tell you about an egg. We need 1 egg for this recipe. Going to the fridge. Get an egg. And you know, if I have an egg, I'm also going to need a separate bowl in which to crack my egg. And why do I do that? In case there are any shells that come out when I crack the egg, they will not go into the main bowl. I will be able to get them out right here. The egg gets added. Then I'm going to blend. It's a very thick batter at this point. Now we are going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. The baking powder has the measure built right into the top of the container. You get a nice large spoonful of your baking powder and then drag it that ledge and you have a nice even measure. Then we need 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. One teaspoon of vanilla. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I think I'm going with a teaspoon of cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Let's go with cinnamon. One teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, now we are going to blend this again. All of that is really well incorporated. Now you're going to add the rest of your flour. So we had added 3/4 cup. So we'll add 1 more 1/4 to that to make 1 whole cup, and then 1 more 1/4 cup to make 1 1/4 cup total of flour. And then you'll blend this. That is a beautiful batter. Now we are ready to add our 1 cup of oats and a cup of raisins. There's our cup of raisins. Then we are going to fold this in with a spatula. It's really a bit too dense or heavy at this point to blend it with the hand mixer. So I'm going to fold those, the oats and the raisins into the batter with a spatula. Okay, so here is your batter. And then I'm going to get my baking dishes, my baking sheets. Take my spoon out of the raisins, and I'm going to drop them by rounded spoonful onto my baking sheet. You want to keep them about 2 inches apart because they will spread. You don't want them to spread into one another. Okay, here they are. They're 2 inches apart on the baking sheet. Now I'm going to put them into a 375-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. We want to see the edges get golden brown, so let's check. We'll put it in, and then we'll check in 10 minutes. Set the timer for 10 minutes. Great, see you soon. Okay, these have been in for 12 minutes. I checked at 10, they were not done yet, but at 12, they are, I'm gonna put them down here because they are warm. They are browning around the edges just perfectly. And now I'm going to take them off with my metal spatula, carefully take them off the baking sheet and place them so carefully on the cooling rack. You see how that works? I'm going to give those about 5 minutes to cool. Then I'm going to pour myself a glass of milk, and I am going to enjoy milk and cookies this afternoon. I hope you will too. Have a happy day.